7-year-old boy from Cleveland, Ohio, was taken away from his family for being obese. This was the first case in which the federal government took away a child and put them in foster care due to being over a certain amount of weight. Although the Cleveland plea dealers claimed that Oliver's mother's inability to control his weight was a form of child neglect, the mother told New York Daily News that she had bought him a bike and encouraged him to exercise. But due to the federal government's decision, he is only allowed to see his mother once each week. It is for cases like Oliver's that I advocate legislative action, so that the governmental action won't result in a child being removed from his family because he is overweight. First, the federal government should increase education in schools about healthy lifestyles. Second, there should be a zero-tolerance policy nationally for bullying. And third, there should be support groups in schools and throughout communities for children who are overweight. So what exactly does obesity mean? Well, obesity is defined as an abnormal accumulation of body fat, approximately 20% or more over an individual's ideal body weight. It also comes with health consequences such as high blood pressure, breathing problems, hypertension, and so much more. Also, as shown by Oliver's story, it doesn't just affect adults. Childhood obesity is a huge problem in the U.S., escalating each year. One of the problems with childhood obesity stems from parents. Parents are abusing and neglecting their child when they allow their child to be overweight. For example, a growing research panel examined the decisions which were made by parents early on in the child's life. This had a huge impact on the child's future life. Also, remember Oliver? The mother clearly never abused Oliver because she bought him a bike and encouraged him to exercise, but this was one of the prime reasons why he was taken away from her. Thus, for this problem, a charge of parental neglect or abuse should only be filed against the parent if the parent is doing nothing to support the child or if the child has type 2 diabetes because of the parent's decisions. For this reason, a possible solution would be to penalize the parents by forcing them to pay criminal fines until they take action and help the child lose weight. Let's not let them suffer the same consequences as Oliver because of the mother's decisions. Another problem with childhood obesity is that it's unhealthy and leads to future health consequences. Over 6 million American children suffer and eat unhealthy food on a daily basis. Only 21% of children eat 5 or more vegetables and fruit a day. It is also this intake of unhealthy food that leads to future health consequences, such as hypertension, type 2 diabetes, breathing problems, asthma, epilepsy, respiratory ailments, and so much more. Over 300,000 deaths per year are primarily caused because of unhealthy nutrition and bad eating habits. This is the second most preventable cause of death in the whole world. Also, remember Oliver? If he would have had a better nutrition, better eating habits, he never would have been taken away from his mom, and he would have been able to have a relationship with her. So for this reason, the federal government should implement pediatric weight loss plans for the child until they meet the necessary amount of weight. If the child doesn't meet the amount of weight needed, then the parents could be fined. As a result, childhood obesity is a huge problem, especially when they can end up being taken away from their parents and put into foster care. Another problem with childhood obesity is bullying. Child bullying is a huge problem in the U.S., and it's getting worse as years progress. The American Academy of Pediatrics cautioned parents that if their child was overweight, they will be the subject of bullying and teasing at school. The teasing soon leads to emotional problems, and these emotional problems soon leads to suicide. Let's take Kelly, for example. There's also a 63% chance that they would be bullied, and then they would even drop out of school altogether, or skip school, or end up committing suicide, as I've told before. So let's take Kelly and Samantha. Kelly and Samantha both shared their story online about how they were overweight, but Kelly had to have her mother tell her story, and I'll tell you why. Kelly was bullied at school, and none of her teachers ever did anything about it. Her teachers, friends, parents, they just watched as she got bullied. She soon got older and went into high school. She committed suicide at age 15 because she believed death was less painful than having to suffer the emotional consequences of being obese. For this reason, I believe that the federal government needs a zero-tolerance policy nationally for bullying. It is with this zero-tolerance policy that a child won't commit suicide because they are overweight, and they will not be bullied because there will be a zero-tolerance policy intact. Now finally, there's a huge problem with the child's lack of encouragement when it comes to childhood obesity. In Newsweek, a 9-year-old girl named Leslie told that she was overweight. She wrote in her diary that she was obese and she couldn't change. A normal 9-year-old girl should have written about unicorns, fairy tales, princesses, but Leslie wrote that she was overweight. This had a huge effect and impact on her life. She came to believe that she would never lose weight, that she would grow old and always be obese. As Leslie and many other kids got older, when they look back on their future, they're going to think how unhappy they were, how at 9 years old it was the worst time of their life, and still is. So instead of having a child suffer from obesity, a possible solution would be to have support groups in schools and throughout communities for children who are overweight. With this, we will be able to help children have the encouragement they need to succeed in losing weight in schools and throughout communities, and we can teach them about healthy lifestyles. Let's not have another child suffer like Leslie. So for this reason, I advocate a 3-step plan. First, they should increase education in schools and throughout communities for children who are overweight. Second, there should be a zero-tolerance policy nationally for bullying. And third, there should be support groups in schools and throughout communities for children who are overweight to help teach them about healthy lifestyles. It is through this 3-step plan that we will be able to ensure a brighter future for children who are overweight. So, childhood obesity affects thousands of children, stemming from the roles that parents play in their life. They are also the #1 target for bullying, and it leads to fatal health consequences that can eventually kill them. And also, if they don't have the encouragement or the self-esteem they need to lose weight, they eventually never will, and that will end up being the death of them. So for this reason, like Kelly and Leslie and Oliver, we should try to make a difference. We should try to prevent any more deaths. We should try to prevent any more kids from being taken away from their family, and we should try to prevent any more kids from committing suicide or writing in their diary that they're overweight. So I will hope that the federal government will make a change now and try to prevent childhood obesity. Thank you.